Hello, the Psycho Man. I am painting one of my six fourth dimensional paintings, and this one is with the deep sea creatures. I'll be focusing on a certain aspect of it uh, from for some time. Oh, I'm, I'm playing my own voice. Yeah, this is part of my private collection, which I've started to work on over 2 years ago. There's six fourth dimensional paintings like that, which this one is one of. On this Hubs platform where I'm multi-streaming from, I have posted the picture of the whole canvas because I realized that this broadcast is unique. Yes, I realize that. Thank you very much, Psycho Man. It is due to my technique, which is in itself very unique, which originates from the Middle Ages. Um, that's what broadcast is based on. So that is why. Um, um, as I said, I posted on Hubs the picture of the painting I'm working on. Um, I think you can view it without probably without even subscribing. And if you wish to subscribe, it's for free. I'm multi-streaming um, from Hubs to various platforms. Is it cold? No, in my atelier it's always very hot because there has to be high temperature and low humidity in order for the paint to dry. And as I work on one canvas, um, the other ones are drying. So it's always hot where I'm working in my atelier. I I did this one. Now hello, Vogue. Thank you, Ferris Rawson, for subscribing. Maybe if you could do Facebook, and I will do here and Twitter. I did YouTube there. Mm. I'm very well, Vogue. Thank you very much. Tonight I decided to stream as I'm working on another one of the fourth dimensional paintings. Oh, thank you, Psycho Man, for subscribing. I appreciate your subscription. I've seen you before. I didn't know if you were from Hubs or not, but as you are now subscribed to Hubs, you'll be able to see. You love the color? Yes, it's a deep sea painting, and I've spoken a lot with people who dive in it. And there's a whole thing about the color that is so mesmerizing and so hypnotizing to them that it becomes even sometimes a life-threatening danger because they get so into the water and this color, and they've described it a lot to me. So I'm actually using their description in composition. I'm doing a particular thing right now with this painting uh, because it's thank you, Bob, because it's unlike when you see me working on aquarelle. That's where I cannot make any mistake, and the light. I'm not using white paint, and the light comes purely from the brightness of the paper. With these paintings, especially fourth dimensional ones, it's a completely different story because sometimes they turn very, very dark before the brightness comes, and that's in case of this one because it's deep sea and with this color thing of deep waters. I have to deal in that way. Hello, card write sketches. Hello. I'm streaming through hubs. I'm multi-streaming to various platforms. I'm multi-streaming from hubs through hubs to Switch, to Twitch, to Facebook, to Twitter. So maybe I will go now to Twitch and paste the hubs link where I'm streaming from, because only since recently I can post on hubs, and that is what allowed me to post the picture of the whole canvas I'm working on, which I have done. So maybe should I do on Twitch? So I'll try to go to Twitch. I might get and I will. Mm, alright. Um, that's where I'm streaming from. Um, did it get like blocked for a while when I was typing it? What happened? It runs smoothly? Thank you. Yes, that's where you can see the picture of the whole painting I'm working on. That's why I took care to try to post it. There's also still do on Facebook, right? Ah, okay. So I think everybody knows now where to see the picture of the painting. Yeah, working on this composition, I have learned that there is underwater waterfalls and underwater rivers and various things I had previously no idea about. So I have used all those in a composition. Also, I watched some amazing deep sea creatures. No, but I was there and I already typed in, so it must be there somewhere. Mm. SKT, your shoulder looking super ripped when I paint. Ah, like muscly. Yes, that's right. And girls like that sort of thing. I don't let anyone carry my shoppings for me or anything like that. I do make sure to work out in the most natural possible ways. So I don't do like a senseless weightlifting for nothing but for purpose. Yes, a lot. Use my muscles a lot. Mm, yeah. I always have a strong handshake. When people used to shake hands, um, they were always impressed. But now I don't shake hands, so it doesn't matter. I can see your shoulder and arms look strong. I thought it was from painting. That's right. That's also. Um, you see mm, my technique and the way of me using it has also developed my body in a particular way, because I don't just work with my mind and with my ideas, I work very much with my body. Painting looking amazing, by the way, so big. Thank you, SKT. Yes, it's 1 meter, 40 centimeters by 1 meter. And I have posted the picture of it on Hubs where I'm streaming from. And I have posted link to to my Hubs channel on Twitch as well. So you can see it if you see the page. You can see the picture of the whole painting. You get an idea of the composition. But oh, great, thanks. And as the view of the land allows for so much spaciousness, the view of this deep sea, you can imagine, allows for even more. Knowing the fact that there's such things as underwater waterfalls, underwater rivers, and various other formations. Um, yes, to show them. I'll show you. There is an underwater waterfall here. Maybe not. I'll keep my time. There's underwater volcanoes as well, and other forms, and also there's been so many underwater sea creatures have been discovered only recently, and they look amazing. They are amazing. Their shapes are amazing, and there's very strange and particular thing about their colors, because all those issues of colors and light, they go different underwater than on land. And that's also what interests me, and that's why at the moment, at this stage, if you look at the canvas, it looks all very dark. But that's at this moment, at this stage. I'm thinking about work in that before we were talking, like just before about this stuff and something like that. Actually, before I is it recent? Yeah, very interesting. What happened? Yeah, and that's why this this is where my pre-classical realistic technique comes very useful, and that is why I want to exercise it on um this subject of the deep sea painting, because it allows for doing those various perspectivic things that I do anyway. And even more so, it encourages, it allows the human to perceive perspective in this untypical way, because there's no horizon line as such or anything. Yeah, very sort of like that, very much so. So, yeah. What is that? Is that recent? Yeah, so it is more likely, and it has been many times, geometricized the landscape we see as a street view or as an land view, but it has not been done so much with the deep underwater scenes, which allows me to explore my means of treating perspective as a master of pre-classical realism. That is why deep sea is a very important um, aspect for me to show the fourth dimension. Hello, Drummer. You like my hair ties? Thank you very much, Drummer. This painting is mind blowing. Yes, Drummer, it actually does intend to be, and it's going towards being. It isn't actually yet. I have posted the full picture of it on Hubs because now, fortunately, I can post. And you will see it's still very dark, and that darkness sort of obscures the elements that are going to be there, that are going to show other elements which are there already, which in effect is supposed to be a very influencing on, which is supposed to, and it's intended to give a very strong visual experience, because this one is a deep sea painting. It's underwater, animal steel. Stopping by real quick to say, if you haven't heard it today, you're amazing, and I believe in you. Kitten one heart, kitten one blush, kitten one pad. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, Animal Steel. Thank you. Oh, okay. Caravaggio mermaid. That's funny. Yes, it is slightly Caravaggianistic, if you wish to say, because it is so contrasted and still so dark. So it does look like candlelight painting, and it's true it has been tested by me in candlelight. So at this stage, it is a very accurate comparison. But I'm carrying it out into different luminescence zones. Thank you, Koma Kolzi. Thank you. Um, um, Hello, Xenia. Switch the connection. Really great job. Can you show me details? Well, I have posted. I'm streaming through Hubs, Xenia, and I have posted the full picture of this canvas because it is a large one. It's 1 meter 40 by 100 centimeters. I have posted the picture of it on Hubs as it looks up until now. I have posted in this chat box on Twitch. I have posted my Hubs profile thing. Maybe you can't see it. Please let me know if you can see it or not. Um, as when I work on the piece, I keep my stream fixed to the position it is. It already moves by itself, but I keep it fixed more or less to what I'm streaming at the time. Um, because of the way I work, I have a very strong ethos of working. I'm a master of pre-classical realism and a naturist artist as well, which allows me to keep the frame only in a certain way at my streams. But in time, I'll be showing other angles, and yes, I'm even thinking of posting the pictures of details. Oh, okay, I'll check out your post on Hubs. Mm-hmm. Yes, maybe I will type in the Hubs link to Twitch again. That should appear. That's where I'm now allowed to post. So I'm posting pictures of paintings as I work on them as well. Mm. Oh, okay. Yes, Hubs is free, so if you want to sign up for Hubs, you can do so for free. And I think you may probably even be able to view posts without signing up. Oh, hours. Oh, dear. Usually, one of my oil on canvas masterpieces takes about 2,000 hours, and it's about 40 to 50 fine layers of oil paint. But this one is one of my 6 paintings in the fourth dimension, which are part of my private collection. And on those, I'm going to spend a lot longer than 2,000 hours each due to their high complication. The compositions are so complex and so complicated. I started already over 2 years ago, and I'm going to continue. And I'm not giving myself a deadline when I'm going to finish it for. I'm a professional artist, and other parts of my work are very planned, and I always keep to the appointments and work in a very disciplined way. At the moment, I work on a couple of other commissions, but this is a bit different. My uh, six fourth dimensional paintings, I treat them in a very different way due to the complexity of the topic. If you want to see some of my finished paintings, you can do so on my site. I can type it in, although you will see the address in my bio on Twitch, but I will type it in. Yeah. That's my site where you can see some of my previous masterpieces, and these they take about 2,000 hours to make. I'm also a fashion designer. This is my secondary profession, and on my site you will find links leading to information about the fashion shows I did and various events like that. I did Berlin Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week. Where do I sell my paintings? Well, I can say you can contact me through my site. Um, but one of my paintings cost about 20,000 euros as for oil on canvas masterpieces. As you said, the Psycho Man, my work is very unique, um, very one of the very very I use very meticulous, very time consuming technique, and I don't work in a very industrial way. So I do not have a shop per se, or I don't sell to the gallery. I work on very usually on very unique um, commissioned pieces. I work on very unique orders, and I don't do so in a very industrial way. I don't also have a book of um, ready products that I want to sell in any way. It's completely different for me. I use a traditional technique from the Middle Ages, and I live in the respect of it. My whole profession runs with the ethos of my technique. I'm very talented. You see, Psychoman, I don't believe in talent, to be completely frank. I don't believe in talent. I honestly use a technique which I've learned through 5 years of apprenticeship, drawing and painting 10 hours a day, every day, where any work that wasn't perfect I had to destroy immediately. So it isn't something as magical and as miraculous as talent. It's a skill, it's a pure hand to eye to mind coordination that can be trained and that I have trained. How does it feel to draw naked? I work naked in my atelier, not when I do public events or what. So, to be honest, it feels just the same as working with the clothes on. It's no difference really. It's just that it fits the temperature more. Because when I'm in a place where other paintings are drying, it's very warm and the air is dry. Plus, that it allows me to endure a lot longer hours of meticulous work. Skill, yes, you're right, the Psychoman. It is a skill, a craft, to such a high level developed that it becomes art. Never tired? No, no, Xenia, I'm not tired. And that's something that working this way helps me with, you see, because um, working as a naturist, um, that helps body to endure long hours of meticulous work. It has to do with blood circulation, it has to do with lymphatic system, it has to do with even oxygen levels and things like that. I don't want to get too like into the biochemistry and so on, but mm, there are physical aspects that are important for me um, to keep stable with my skill, with my craft, my technique. And naturism is one of them when I'm working in my studio, when I'm working in my atelier. Cool, Ash. Yeah, it is. It is cool. What I see as cool is objectivity, and that's something I always have to keep to. And you can relate to it, Psychoman. Yeah. I'm going to go. I'll see you next time. Bye, Drummer. Hello, Ben. Is this be part of the same commission as last night's seascape? And you more importantly, I hope you are well. Hi, Ben. This is another one of six paintings, which are fourth dimensional ones, which are part of my private collection. So it's not a commission piece. It is one of those fourth dimensional paintings. And I'm streaming through hubs where I posted a picture of this full canvas because it's quite a large one. It's 140 by 100 centimeters. And I'm very well, thank you very much. This canvas is all about the deep sea and its creatures and forms, and allows me to use my perspective as a master of pre-classical realism, allows me to exercise its methods, because underwater there are such a forms like underwater waterfalls, underwater rivers, as well as volcanoes, underwater volcanoes, and various amazing features, which allow me to explore the subject of various dimensions in a very different way, different than land view. Hello, Mike. No, it isn't abstract, Junior. It is a deep sea painting. It's a fourth dimensional painting, one of six from which are part of my private collection. It isn't abstract, and even the deep sea creatures I've been painting, and they have been discovered, and they really do exist. I have posted the picture, the full picture of this canvas on Hubs, since I can post things on the platform, so you can see it there if you want to see the full canvas. Is the intention of the piece to encourage the viewer to feel a part of the subaquatic environment, to touch, feel, as well as observing? That is so, Ben. It is, and it's a synesthesia which I'm using in a fourth dimensional composition. Yes, it is intended. These are the means of transcending and giving this extraordinary visual experience to a viewer. And that's where my concentration is on. My concentration as a master of pre-classical realism is no way on my personal feelings, emotions, or nothing like that. My concentration is on composition and on the effect it has on the people viewing or possessing a piece, immersive, so to speak. Yes, it is so. Then it is, yes. It's just sort of immersing. And some facts that I have found out about water and its nature and all these aquatic newly discovered species contribute to it. That's why it is a very important part of the fourth dimensional a lot of my paintings, because the subject of the deep sea composition is a very important one. The thing things also like the fact that yeah, all the qualities of deep sea and the water itself. Through knowledge of the subject, you bring accuracy. That's right, Ben. That's right, Ben. And that's why I've been watching a lot of these discoveries on different new animal species, because nothing is as interesting as the reality of it, as the facts of those species being discovered. And also, you see when those mm, super advanced new cameras are immersed in water, you see and you hear the scientists like observing it and discovering and watching those creatures, and that is fascinating in a sense of dimensions, because something that looks like can be interpreted as known species or as just a piece of floating material, let's say, like a textile or something, can suddenly unfold and show you a shape that you have never expected to see. And that's what I find fascinating, and that's the type of knowledge I source from reality and real species being discovered. But right now I'm at a bit different stage, because I have planned all those species and I decided which part of the composition they are going to take. But right now I'm working on the whole um, depth and the general sort of scape of the water on the whole canvas. Mm, so you will see, like right now, the canvas is all very dark, and I'm working not just on the light as the brightness of it, but as the forms of shapes and forms that allow me uh, to point out perspectivic qualities of this deep sea. It is a shame to say it, but there needs to be a piece of plastic in the scene. Heartbreaking to means effect upon the aquatic world. Oh no, there doesn't need to be. I seen, in those deep, deep seas, where I've researched for the visual information, there's no plastic. It doesn't get there. I mean, it's like real, real in depth. So it's I know it's like very polluted, and I know it has influenced even the species of fish and so on, that they have sort of plastic integrated into them. But where I was looking was really different. It was really like extreme depths, like sort of spaghetti monster type zones, where there isn't any debris from human life at all. High pressure and low light areas, Titanic level, yes. High pressure, yes. Very, very high pressure. Too high for divers. That's right. That's right. And to be honest, the piece of plastic would anyway be political, and I'm not political at all. I do keep away from any political, and I keep away from any religious subjects too. The creatures at that level are prehistoric in appearance, most fascinating. Exactly, exactly. Yes, they're absolutely amazing. And the whole thing of dimensions they display as the most beautiful theater. Really, the sort of folds and shapes they have as the material they're made of, and the structure of it is amazing, and colors as well. Also, their means of living and hunting a raw beauty. Yes, that's right, Ben. And kind of um, not typically aesthetic as well, because the means those creatures have of eating, living, hunting are not like the ones at the other levels of water. They honestly are different. Kind of yeah, some may see them as kind of scary and creepy too. Um, yeah, that's what I find very interesting. Also, the the speed of their life, the way they are moving, the frequency of movement and behavior, very very different. Some are very long living and slow moving. Thanks, Kate. I can see you are engaged by this piece. Good to see. Yes, I am actually. It's like, uh, and I use elements of it in other compositions as well. Not in a very direct way, but yes, it is so. One part still stays covered. Here, what you can see here, it's a covered part of the painting, but large area is visible. Take care, my friend. I must return to work. Enjoy. Bye, Ben. Have a good time working too. Always. Mm. Hi, Justin. How's things? Sorry, got short the other day, but had to work with liking the drawing here. Thank you, Justin. This is a large canvas, 1 meter 40 by 1 meter. It's a deep sea, and it was just said that it is about the area where, with the low light, but constantly now my mind is working on the light on it, and even though it represents a lot of creatures from deep sea where the light is really low, I'm turning it completely the other way with this light thing. So um, that's what I'm thinking about now, and it's yeah, it's a very different thing because um, the fact of the like light as we know it not lighting the places there of a deep space, mm, it doesn't mean that there cannot be brightness of a visual type as to show the forms. So that's what I'm working on now, and that's what I'm thinking. And no problem, Justin, about cutting short or so on. We all have our lives, and we go around them as we do. I'm never bothered about those things. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that you are polite, but it's really no problem. Actually, I like that about the stream that anyone can drop by, drop out at any time. I can switch it off and on anytime. And, you know, it's like, it's very cool in that sense. And I'd rather have that than long introductions or long closures and so on, because that wouldn't make it a continuous story. I like this continuous thing of the streaming together with the progress of work I'm doing. Find it interesting. Yeah, just glad it did not rain on me on the shift, but that UK weather for you know. Oh yes, I understand, Justin. It is really strange weathers we've been getting in April still, and then now May also started. And here today was the first one with a very lovely springtime going towards summer weather. But already tomorrow is going to change and break and rain. Yeah, the weather has been really difficult. So you work outdoors, right, Justin? Here I have a mimic octopus. It's completely camouflaged and just looks like a gray patch. Maybe later I'll take some detailed pictures from this painting and post them and have. Yeah, work on the railway tracks. All right. Wow. Interesting. Must be difficult. I've seen some people go around the old ones and they sort of film it and then show places where the railway tracks went out of use, and the same with tunnels and underground um, channels and communication connection places. Quite interesting things. Worked in snow, wind, rain, please you name it, been in it. Oh wow, Justin. Wow. It's like Dutch girls on their bikes. They go on and whatever weather is like. Yeah, work on the underground too. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, could do with a holiday somewhere hot. I see. Wow. I don't know what to suggest for you now, with the holidays become a bit strange. Myself, I never go on holiday, so I don't have any personal recommendation. But then anything else to say is like, oops, I don't know. Where can you go warm on holiday now? No, I like those electric lamps that give heat. They're nice. You can have one at home, and they can really like work a marvelous healing way and very nice and warm. Like the little lamps have it. I like those lamps very much. So maybe I would rather suggest to get one of those than go on holiday nowadays, because you don't know about holiday, but the lamp you will have, and at any bad cold weather evening you can return home and put your lamp on. I like those lamps, so that's why I'm advertising that the sort of, I think they are infrared, but not just different colors, and they give heat. And some you can sort of hang from above. Some can directly touch the skin. Don't know how they're called. Yeah, you love whales. Then lots of lambs there. Yeah, like eating them. I've been in a place where people offer to sort of cuddle them and like a therapy to stroke them or something. I don't treat them like that. I like eating them. They are very, very tasty. Lovely little tasty lambs. But I've seen that they are kept in places with the lamps like that, and I use those lamps myself, similar type, and I like those lamps a lot. It was funny because people were giving me those lambs and so what you giving me for to eat to kill? I want to hold them to stroke it. Okay, I can hold it, but looks like food to me. But yeah, very nice, very tasty. You like our Sunday dinners there? Then, as always, have roast so lamb on the list alone. Yes, yes, Sunday roast. I understand Sunday roast. Yeah, lamb is great. I really like lamb. I used to eat lamb's liver as well and other parts, but the most is a sort of fresh, lovely meat that was still, yeah. Yeah, lamb's legs, lamb's ribs, great, really great. You like takeaway food KFC? Oh no, and that's what you run off when you work in difficult weather conditions? Juice and try to do something healthy. It's a pity to treat yourself with that if you work in such a hard weather conditions and so on. I mean, it's your body, do as you like, but I would suggest something better and healthier for you, especially if you have lambs around. I mean, why would you go to KFC if you have fresh lambs around? you have to help your body to sustain health and balance when you work like that, especially if you go in different weathers. I like food we make ourselves. It's so important. Like now, we are cooking a duck with sort of large mushroom and other vegetables like red peppers and so. And you'll be surprised. Good food is really simple. Can be really simple to make, and pretty effortless. Considering you can just put some meat together with vegetables. I don't eat it all the time, just the odd time when driving on the motorway. Ah, I see, I see. But you can roast your own bird and take it as you're driving, or it's better for you, I'd say. But as you do it as you like, I'm like not telling you what to do. It's just I thought it's a pity when you have to go in a hard weather to to do like that to the body. But you do your way. I'm like for healthy food, and I think it can be done less with less effort than people think. We make all our food ourselves, um, and for me it's very important. Love roast dinner better. Yeah, yeah, it's just yeah, for me it's very important. Like all my physical strength I attribute largely to good food, and it has to be planned a bit ahead. So like we make a lot of meals that we can freeze and then defreeze and eat when it's convenient, and prepare and plan the food ahead. I think it's very important, especially if you are doing some physical activity. It actually is also, but do have a lot of soups in the winter. Ah, I don't eat much soups. We don't make soups. Sometimes we make bone broth, but other than that, we eat like more like meat and veg, like high energy, like very concrete food. We don't eat soups so much. You like soup food during winter, drummer? Alright. No, I don't. I don't like soup at all. It's weak to me. Yeah, true. Yeah. To me, soup is like diluted food, and I don't like it because it cheats me out of meat and energy. So I can drink a good bone broth when we make it, but still I prefer like a meat on the bone with the skin, with vegetables. I like pigs a lot also. I like pig's tails, pig's feet, pig's skin. The last meal we had was with a lot of pig's skin. It comes in handy when it's cold. Mm. You mean about soup? Ah, no, no. I'm a real carnivore. I like meat. Oops. Mhm. Oh, wait until it's cool. You have made home soup. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. I mean, if you make it, then to give yourself more energy, it's good to add the bone with the marrow. Then at least you have something substantial in there. And also for high energy, I suggest eating organ meats like livers, hearts, things like that. Very good. Even if it's chicken's feet. Yeah, roast pork nice with applesauce. Yeah, that's great. Really good. And you'll be surprised how easily you can make it. Sometimes if you don't know cooking that much, you can just put salt and pepper on it and put it on a bed of vegetables, like whatever vegetable you have at hand. It can be red pepper, courgette, aubergine, anything, or all of those. Just you can put salt and pepper on pork and put it on a bed of vegetables or apples or whatever and roast it yourself in the oven. It's delicious. Pig, pig is great. I like pork very much. I like trotters as well. Trotters, pig's feet, I like a lot. You love cooking, like doing Italian food. Oh, that's nice, Justin. I don't so much eat Italian food because they use a lot of pasta and a lot of like bread type things and dough type things, and we don't eat those recently. So, but it is good. The spices also and the ideas of like the purest, simplest Italian recipes I appreciate the most. Hi, Gabriele Kita. I am painting. This is one of six fourth-dimensional paintings which are part of my private collection. It is with the deep sea creatures. I have posted the pictures of it on Hubs, which is the platform where I multi-stream from. I use a lot of lemon. That's good. You see, Gabriele Kita, I'm a master of pre-classical realism, which is a traditional drawing and painting technique which originates from the Middle Ages. And as I am exploring the possibilities my technique gives me. I am painting six four-dimensional paintings as part of my private collection, and this one is one of those. Cool. Yes, it is. It is actually cool. I started to work on those six over 2 years ago. So we start with this. Oh, how would you like? Mhm. How would you like? Okay, start with this, and then we will see. I think maybe this, then that, then that, and then that. Yeah, very well. Justin, yeah, it's good how you go to the shadow and the colors painting stands out good. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. And I'm working now more on this aspect of light in this painting because it is deep sea, and as mentioned previously, the light is usually low in the deep sea, but I'm creating illuminescence other than the light that is known from those optical instruments that dive into those depths. So making it a bit different, so in effect it will not look so very natural as a light and shade. Sometimes some people see some of the works I do and they realize that light is not just like the physical light as we know it with the light and shade. And this is going to be an example of that very much so, because it's extremely low lights in the places where those creatures are seen. Every one of your paintings that I have seen so far have been amazing and mind blowing. Thank you, Druma. Thank you. This one, like at this stage, but already from the beginning it's like very very dark and like heavy dark. But on that I'm building this luminescence in a very different way, because it's not going to be a luminescence based on the brightness nor on actual lightness, because everything is kind of light in the water, but it's going to be like luminescence based on the quality of water in itself, like on the moist, humid, fleshy creatures and strange forms. And it's not just because they are sort of slimy, they're going to reflect the light that is the light from those instruments. It's just because they are so uh, that they are from the deep sea, so they are extremely moist and juicy inside. Have you ever done scuba diving? It's a different world down there. Yes, exactly, it is. I haven't, and I don't intend to, but I've spoken to people who have done that to prepare myself for this painting. Yes, I know. I've heard the stories very much, so it is very, very interesting. Yes, and the creatures which I have chose to paint on this canvas, they um, they are seen and they have been discovered in the areas where the divers don't go, where they can't go. It's too deep. So it's only in the places where they drop those new cameras and things for research. Very nice. I've heard about some like amazing techniques of diving also from before, and so like yeah, amazing when you look into it how the history of diving has developed. You find some really amazing things. Very nice. Oh, mhm. You would love it. So many mirrored colors. Download. Like downwards, like when you dive. Yes, I know, I know. I did a little bit of diving with but not deep, with the little snorkel. Yes, but I wouldn't go that deep. It's not for me. But the colors is what I was thinking about because in this one, because it is so like deep sea, I'm going to have this kind of gray type of colors also, not so obviously vivid colors, but also like rock gray and like dinosaur sort of colors on those creatures. One of them is here, and that one is still a bit pinky, but it's going to look different later. But that one here is this mimic octopus that is completely gray and strange looking, and it's going to go more that way, more so more luminescent and more sort of gray cave like rocky type. Is that your coffee? It is coffee, Justin. I've been drinking coffee, and please try not to make me feel bad about it. Because recently somebody did because they said I drink coffee when it's late, but it's a weak coffee, and I don't drink particularly many coffees a day. I drink a lot of tea as well. Why am I naked? Because it allows my body to endure long hours of meticulous work. Um, I don't know. You see, I use a traditional painting technique, and if you are familiar with how the paintings look like by even quite not as old as masters as where my technique originates from, because my technique originates from the Middle Ages, you will see that a lot of realism in art is based on a naked female body. And that's a tradition which I'm part of. It's just that I'm even from before Leonardo da Vinci, from before the classical times of realism. And in my atelier, it's always hot because there's paintings that need to dry here. So high temperature and low humidity. That is why I work in these conditions. Traditionally, masters of pre-classical realism work this way. It's just that they work anonymously in their atelier and they didn't show their creative process. And as I don't plan to take on any apprentices myself, I asked my master to teach me in a way so I can show the creative process to people and interact with them at the same time as I'm painting or drawing or working. So I do various projects, some of them in public space, and in public space, I am dressed. Mm, but as I stream from the comfort of my atelier, I work in the way as I do traditionally. So, as a naturist artist, it also has to do with frequency and affinity with my female nude subjects. And yeah, as I said, high temperature, low humidity, many paintings drying around. So Oh, it's okay. I drink coffee too in the morning. Thanks, Justin. Recently, somebody tried to make me feel bad about drinking coffee. Yeah, and I don't know, Gabriele Kita, what do you know about European culture? But originally, in the Olympics, athletes competed nude. So, European culture, and especially tradition of realism in art, is strongly based on human anatomy. Because even if one wants to draw and paint fully clothed person, they have to be conscious how their muscles work, how the skeleton is to compose human body onto the work, onto the painting and that. Oh, mm, it's good for your skin to be neat. Exactly, for blood circulation, for lymphatic system, also for D vitamin. Just question, not to be like awkward, but have you ever showed someone your knockers? If you know what I mean, you can show me though if you are comfortable. Girl, so like you, I know I have them myself. uh, it's no problem. You can check on Twitter. You can check my Patreon page. There are some public posts there as well. I respect the platforms where I'm on. So you see, I stream now through hubs to Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and these platforms have their own community guidelines on nudity and so on. So I respect those. Personally, myself, I find it completely ridiculous when I see strawberries on people in the place of nipples and such, like on Instagram, and I don't do such things because it looks to me like some maniac has seen a naked human body and got carried away with themselves. I treat nudity in a very natural, non-exciting way, actually. So you can see I have a Patreon page where I post exclusive uncensored content because that's the platform where creators can do so. Yes, I have Instagram also, but I respect the rules on there. And I have Twitter account where you can where everyone can see my body, like all my body. On my Facebook even as well, like my family and everyone can see it also on the Facebook. It's just that on Facebook I also respect the rules of the Facebook where you are not allowed to show certain parts like nipples and you are writing from Twitch. So on Twitch it's very strange because on Twitch once I was you cannot even paint um, buttocks of somebody, so it's even more strict than Facebook. So yeah, so I respect all those. And less sweetie, um what that's cool and interesting. And less sweetie, I don't know what do you mean, Justin, about less sweetie. Yeah, but that's for that. So I am what I am, and I work in that way, and that's it. And as I now work from the comfort of my own atelier, I don't work on public projects because that has become difficult and then complicated due to the situation. I concentrate on working from my atelier and I show the creative process as it is. So mm, naked. I don't even know why is it so such a thing for people because um, even those social media platforms they try to say they sort of promote art, respect, or they want art in order to make their platforms attractive for people. Yet it's so obvious that painting has to do with naked, especially naked female body in a tradition and its origins. Like you've seen so many masters work. Mm, yeah, it can be anything. It can be. Mhm. You often also see the images of an artist and their muse, and the muse is often presented by a female. But it's very strange that the more I see um, nudity being sort of suppressed, the more stranger is being treated, and I think people need to treat it in a more cool, natural way. Ah, less sweaty. Ah, sorry, I didn't read it correctly. Yes, less sweaty. Well, sweating is also good for you, you know. That's how your lymphatic system gets rid of all the pollution and that. So, mm, there's nothing wrong with that's actually part of the exercise. And then when you go to sauna, where you also go naked, then the aim is to sort of sweat a lot. Lovely. Mm. Yes, yes. Just understood. And in fact, sweating is very, very good for you. So you should be careful, like using all those chemical blockers and antiperspirants and things like that, because sweating is a way for our body to detoxify itself. And that's why in sauna you are naked and you're sweating. And that's lovely. You know, when I was learning human anatomy, my grandma modeled for me nude also. So it's really like nothing, nothing strange and nothing to treat in a funny way. But that's what eventually allows realistic artists to paint people in a way so they look natural, so they look human, so they mm, don't bend in the places where humans don't bend, if you know what I mean. look like some kind of what toy dolls or something. Humans, no, fleshy, sweaty, bony, muscly things. Because I'm a realistic artist. I don't do caricatures, and I don't treat people in any overly generalized way, um, as with the lines and so-called style. What is interesting is that I'm a fashion designer, so the whole thing of clothing and that is completely known to me very well. And when I design fashion, I also design it along good lines of female anatomy, not to make like funny shapes of people or something, but to sort of follow the nature of them, the unique individual nature as well. And that's why nobody can tell me what's cool to wear because I'm a fashion designer. So I know two sides, nudity and clothing. Yeah, I sweat a lot when God shovel in my hand at work. That's right, that's correct. Then you are alive. Would be something wrong if you didn't. And personally, I think it's good to do that whilst you're doing something useful that will satisfy you with its results, rather than wasting that in the gym. That's how I think. I think like, well, sometimes I walk past the gym and I see people and they look like hamsters in a wheel, and I think, well, they could be doing something with that. I don't know, maybe run a little engine or something, do a bit more electricity or something. Personally, I like the physical effort to bring some kind of results and some work. And that if I go somewhere, I like to go for purpose and bring some groceries or something. And this is crucial, because the lymphatic system, it doesn't have a pump like blood circulation system in human body has a pump, but lymphatic system doesn't. So for the lymph to clear itself, it does take a decent sweating, and it only can happen when a person moves. I'm going to switch up now. Thank you very much for joining me. It was lovely talking to you. See you next time. Bye.